Guys, what's happening? I'm Billy Wingrove, he's Jeremy Lynch, and we are the F2.
And you're watching Talk Norwich City.
Pow.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Talk Norwich City here, back for another video. Today I'm going to be doing my September review, taking a look back at September and also a tiny bit of October, looking at what we've done well, what we need to improve on. And yeah, just taking a nice look back over the months. So I'm going to be trying to do this every month, taking a look at the previous month, seeing what we've done well, and all of that good stuff. So we started off September with a cracking win over Bournemouth, one of the most impressive Norwich City displays I've seen in a long while, and that's saying something considering some of the performances we saw last season. It was a 3-1 win over Bournemouth. This game was really, held up by the balls by Wes Hoolahan and going, Bournemouth, look at this, I'm better than you, and chuck them down. It really was a fantastic display. Wes Hoolahan, as I said, really did set this game apart, and it was more than a win. It was a point that we've proven to the media that we're not at little Norwich City. We can roll over plucky little Bournemouth, because they do love Bournemouth, don't they? This rags to riches thing. It was a statement. It showed that we mean business. We're here to stay, and we're not going to be rolled over by the fellow promoted teams. That game was really good. It was also our first home win of the season, which is always important. You don't want to prolong that first home win. The home fans start to get a little bit restless if they don't go to away games especially. So that was a fantastic win. We then went to Liverpool, got a fantastic draw there. Liverpool admittedly weren't at their best and still haven't been at their best since then, but at the end of the day, it was Liverpool. There was a lot of pressure on them. They're a big team, 40-odd thousand fans there. It was another statement we showed. We showed that we can go to away games, play a different style of football that we're used to under Alex Neil, and still come away with the points. It showed that we can execute a game plan that wasn't really the game plan we usually take into games. Usually we're free-flowing, attacking. That game, we had to defend a lot. We had the likes of Ings, Coutinho, really decent players running at us for a lot of the game. Benteke even. We showed that we were a defensively solid side when we needed to be. Of course, Russell Martin got the goal there. It was a great story, wasn't it? He just had his kid. He travelled up to Anfield on Delia's plane and then scored the equaliser. That was a fantastic game. That was a game that no one really expected us to get anything from. Liverpool are a good side. As I said, they needed to get something out of that. They needed the win. We didn't let them have that, and that was another statement because a lot of people would have been watching that because it was Liverpool. Then we had West Brom in the Cup. This was an even more pleasing performance. We saw Kyle Lafferty get on the score sheet. He sort of really stepped up to the mark. We've seen him play fantastic football in the international break, but not so much for the club. So it was good to see him get on the score sheet. We saw Mbakani, him sort of getting into the team a bit. And most importantly, we saw a side put out by Alex Neil that certainly says to me that he's taken this cup competition seriously. He put a strong side out against Rotherham, he put a strong side out against West Brom. A very good 3-0 win over, a sustainable Premier League team. That's very pleasing. Although they did have, who was it? Was it Sessegnon? No. Anichebe. They had Anichebe playing at centre defensive mid. No idea what that was about. A proper Tony Pulis Cup decision, but a good 3-0 win there. Then we travelled down to West Ham, got a 2-2 draw, which was a bit disappointing. We hadn't won in the league for a couple of games now. We're getting a little bit twitchy, and we conceded a 94th minute equaliser. Kayute on the score sheet. Now, lots of people blame John Ruddy. Lots of people blamed Alex Tete. At the end of the day, it was a bit of naivety from Norwich City. We could see that we weren't, an experienced Premier League side. You shouldn't be giving free kicks away late on. And that's something we had to look at. Although it's a fantastic performance, if we carry that naivety into other games, we're going to be losing points like West Ham. It wasn't unlucky, it was ruthless by West Ham and slightly poor from us at the end. But at the end of the day, we travelled to a team that will no doubt finish in the top 10, put in a really good performance, an attacking performance, a typical Alex Neil performance, and got something from it, which was very pleasing. Then October now, so we were unbeaten in September. I mean, that's fantastic stuff. And then October the 3rd, a disappointing 2-1 defeat to Leicester. Once again, showing a bit of naivety, throwing too many men forwards and conceding sloppy goals, really. Leicester was a bit disappointing. I certainly wouldn't get down about it, but there's definitely things that I've identified from the West Ham game and the Leicester game that we need to improve on if we do want to stay in this league and pick up points where we should be picking up points. We definitely shouldn't have lost that game against Leicester. Over the whole 90 minutes, Leicester probably were the better team, but we done things that we shouldn't have done. We didn't follow a game plan, and I think we got a bit restless when we were 1-0 down and just tried to throw too many men forwards. And then when you concede that second goal, it's always going to be really, really tough to get back into the game. We nearly got back into the game, but we didn't. You know, Premier League teams can defend these 2-goal leads, and it's very, very tough to get back into games when we're 2-0 down. If we were 1-0 down, we had a few decent chances, and then they broke on the counter and hit us hard. We should have defended better, but it was the fact that we had so many men forward that we didn't get the goal and ended up conceding from that, which was a bit disappointing to see. But there's certainly things we need to learn. We need to learn not to be naive when we've got the lead or we're trying to get back into the game. Alex Neil needs to realise that we're in the Premier League now. It's ruthless. If we throw loads of men forwards, we're going to get hit on the counter. It's very exciting football to play, and we need to continue playing that, but we just need to be a bit more careful. It's not like the Championship where you can throw tons of men forwards and not really get and hit on the counter. But there are things to take. We're currently 13th in the league, 9 points from 8 games. If you'd have asked me at the start of the season, would I have taken that? I would have probably said yes. I reckon if we carry on getting just above a point a game, we're going to be safe at the end of the season. Normally it's 40 points, isn't it? We're currently on for 40 points if we continue this form. We've got some winnable games coming up. All of the games we go into we're going to be confident for. We've got a couple of the tougher games out of the way, but we have got a lot more tougher games to come. Key players from September, I'm identifying the likes of Matty Jarvis, Graham Dorrans, Houlihan and Brady as the 4 key men who really did take us forwards. You know, Jarvis was on the score sheet, Houlihan was on the score sheet, Brady was on the score sheet. Players who can change games, and Brady seems to me like he's a very versatile player and definitely worth the £7 million we paid for him. Wes Houlihan, well, he's Wes Houlihan, isn't he? He needs no explaining. There was some underperformance for me in this last month that haven't really impressed me too much. Olsen, you know, he's going to struggle to get back into the team considering how strong the left-hand side of the pitch is now with Jarvis and with Brady. Jarvis has been exceptional. Olsen is a good player, but I think he was at fault for the first goal against West Ham, and he didn't look that great against West Brom either. I know he doesn't have much game time, but when he does come back into the side, he needs to cement his place, and I don't think he's done that very well. Wisdom, I think he looks like a pretty poor player to me. If he's not going to be played at centre-back, don't play him at all. I think he looks like an absolute car crash at right-back. You know, I've praised him. I think he looks decent going forwards, but his defensive capabilities don't look that great at right-back. Not really sure if he wants to be here, to be honest. Let's hope, though, that maybe in a few cup games, he might get his chance at right-back or at centre-back if, you know, a couple of players get injured. Let's just hope, like Olsen, when he does get into the team, he really does make a mark, put in a cracking performance and makes himself undroppable. Finally, really don't want to criticise Cameron Jerome, but I think he needs to step his game up. Yes, he's playing up front on his own. That is an incredibly tough thing to do. I just think he could add a little bit more. We've seen Mbakani come on and play up top on his own, and Mbakani's runs are a lot more intelligent. He gets into spaces that Jerome doesn't, and when Jerome has had chances, I don't think he's really taken them. He had a great one against West Ham. He had a good one against Leicester. He's only going to get a couple of chances a game. If he doesn't take them, he's not going to get goals at all. He does have a goal, which is good to see. I just think he needs to add a little bit more. I'm certainly not criticising Cameron Jerome. I just don't think September was his best month. So in all, a fairly decent September and start to October. We've only lost 1 game. We've got some points on the board. We've progressed into the next round of a cup. Lots and lots of players have done well. Not so many have done that bad. Players are recovering from injuries. Not many players out with injuries. I call that a successful period of this season. Thanks so much for watching. If you've got any video ideas for this international break, please do leave them in the comments. And as always, leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thanks very much for watching. Leave me your thoughts on September in the comments, and I'll see you very soon. Peace out.
And it's true, God, I love you. Sticks it up to more than you will know.